It's Tyler Senecal, Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation at Wofford College. Thanks for coming and joining us at the virtual Terrier Startup Challenge. I'm coming to you today from my living room, where I am recording this on Zoom in a meeting completely by myself. This bizarre new reality has become the norm for so many of us over the past couple weeks. If it hasn't been the norm for you to be conducting life through video conferences and using technology, don't worry. Today, you are going to get to see what all the hype's about. We've turned what is normally a huge community event that gathers hundreds of people into an online event conducted entirely through Zoom. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge a couple of folks who made this event possible. First is Lynn Mullen, our Associate Director, who has spent countless hours working with the companies that you're about to see, helping them get ready to deliver their pitches. Next, the Office of Marketing and Communication for helping us pull everything together to make this event happen. And then I'd also like to thank some of the folks on our team, Kurt McPhail and Adita Soto. And then lastly, I'd like to give a huge thanks and a special recognition to one of our students, Jeremy Powers. He's a student entrepreneur and he runs a video company called Sky Shutter Media, and he's the one who helped us put this video together. So huge thank you to Jeremy and everyone else who helped make this event possible. You're about to see pitches from 9 startup companies being founded by student entrepreneurs on Wofford's campus. Now, over the past 4 weeks, these students have had to navigate unprecedented levels of uncertainty, moving their classes online, having to move back home, quarantining in confined spaces with their families, and watching the world suffer with coronavirus. And in the midst of all of this uncertainty and ambiguity, these students have persevered. They've been resilient. They've continued to adapt, and they've maintained their focus on pursuing their most ambitious ideas. That is the essence of entrepreneurship. Now, more than ever, it's important that we continue to cultivate, celebrate, and support our young, innovative leaders and entrepreneurs, because it has been and it will be our innovative leaders and entrepreneurs who help us tackle the toughest problems faced by humanity. So, the competition is set up like this. Earlier this week, teams recorded their pitches and they were compiled in a video, which we shared with our panel of judges. Off screen, our judges have viewed the pitches and they've begun their evaluations of each of the companies. They'll finish these evaluations Thursday night during the Q&A session. Following the Q&A sessions, our judges will confer and make a determination about which teams are going to get financially backed. We're awarding a total of $10,000 in prize money. $9,500 will be determined by the judges, and the remaining $500 will be determined by all of you who vote in our fan favorite competition. This competition will be posted on Wofford College's Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn accounts. So make sure you go out and vote for your favorite team. Voting ends Thursday at 7 p.m. and at 8 p.m. we'll announce the winners of the Terrier Startup Challenge and of the fan favorite competition. Before we begin, let's introduce our panel of judges. We are incredibly fortunate to have a very experienced and talented panel of judges who will be evaluating our startups and providing them with essential feedback. First, we have Aru Anavekar, who is the founder and CEO of BotSplash. Aru was also one of the panelists on our Powered by Women event, which we hosted on campus back in the fall. Next, we have Jill Sorensen. Jill is a technology leader with over 25 years in emerging technology. Jill sits as the executive director of SC Launch, and she's the entrepreneurial programs director with SCRA. And last, we have Eric Dodds. Eric is the president of Offsite, and he's a managing partner at Yield Group. Prior to this, Eric was a co-founder and CMO of the Iron Yard, which at the time was the largest in-person code school in the world. Okay, now let's get into the pitches.
Hi, my name is Amanda Vi, and I'm a sophomore at Wofford.
And my name is Savannah Taedo, and I'm a junior at Wofford.
and together we are Viable Cosmetics. I started playing with my mom's old makeup when I was a little girl. She would give me beaten down lipsticks, cracked powder foundations, eyeshadow palettes that were missing entire squares of color. So when YouTube trends started rising around 2010, I was fascinated by fixing makeup. I followed steps to reuse old lipsticks, powders, and about anything else my mom had in her drawer. As I got older, my passion for makeup only flourished. But it was not until I went to college that I found out the not-so-sweet reality of the cosmetics industry.
Something is wrong about how makeup is currently being created. When we walk into a store and see some shiny packaging that says, "Use me," we might be agreeing to more than just fuller lips or a cat eye. We absorb 60% of what is on our skin. This graphic is an illustration of many common products that people put on their face every day and the harmful chemicals that are often found within them. Only 11 chemicals have been banned by the US in comparison to over 1,300 in the EU. There are over 84,000 chemicals being used by companies, and with the little research the CDC has done, found that 200 of these compounds have been found to build up in our bloodstream, known to cause a variety of harmful health issues, not only affecting our lives, but negatively impacting future children as well. If harming our bodies wasn't bad enough, the beauty industry isn't treating our planet very well either. Over 120 billion single-use plastic units are sold every year in the industry, putting a massive dent in our carbon footprint. When we wash our face, taking off all of our beauty products, the cosmetic preservatives BHA and BHT are sent into our lakes, streams, and oceans, wreaking havoc on aquatic life.
The total cosmetic industry is worth $532 billion. 98% of women use some type of product on their face daily. The natural cosmetic range value has reached $36 billion and is only predicted to go up from there. The age range that showed love for natural beauty most was ages 18 to 34, our exact target market. 75% of women this age know how important clean products are to human bodies. And one of our goals at Viable Cosmetics is to raise this number even higher.
Some companies have been able to successfully market and educate its consumers on the importance of cruelty-free and safe makeup for our bodies and the earth. But how will we stack up? Our venture will provide its customers the safe and effective products it is used to seeing from competitors, but with the added bonus of arriving in multi-use recyclable packaging through the convenience of a subscription service. Our process is simple. We aim to make products using natural ingredients such as rosehip oil and glycerin that come with the health benefits that nurture the skin rather than the exposure of harmful toxins. The customer would order a subscription package through our website, receiving their products in recyclable containers made from PCR plastic. Refills would be sent in recyclable materials, leaving our customers with a better body, a better planet, and beauty products they are sure to enjoy. We plan on launching our company using a direct-to-consumer business model with an expansion into retail in the future.
My partner Savannah and I make the perfect team. I'm studying finance and I'm passionate about the makeup and product branding. Savannah, a chemistry major, is responsible for product formulation. We have both areas of expertise and combine our young, trendy ideas to create the formulations and production of Viable Cosmetics. So far, our advisory board consists of women who have a love for the environment, self-care, and business. Sheena Franklin, starter of Well Kept Beauty, and Kathy Shaw, owner of Beeswax Candle Company in Lynchburg, Virginia, both stand on our board and are successful business owners. More partnerships are also in the works.
We have been developing a website and social media platforms to begin reaching out to our target market. We've also been working on developing our first formula for a jelly highlighter. This product is extremely versatile and can be applied to the lips, cheeks, and eyes, making it a great product to launch with. Our plan in March was to have a customer pop-up in which people could come and try our formulation and provide us with feedback on how to improve both our makeup and the containers it comes in. Unfortunately, our plans to interact face-to-face with our audience have been halted due to COVID-19.
When school resumes, we plan to run our scheduled pop-up, getting our product in the hands of the people. After this, we would love to further expand our collection of products, diving into foundations, mascaras, and more. But in order to make this possible, we are asking for $3,000. This would finance packaging, new product formulation, and promotion of our makeup line.
Thank you for considering Viable Cosmetics, the makeup that will always be safe for you and the environment.
Hello, I am Shadis Khan,
And I'm Calder, folks.
and we are the founders of CSTech. Technology has now become an extension of our work lives, where a majority of workers cannot do their jobs without a functioning computer. CSTech aims to keep people powered when and where it matters the most.
So let me tell you a short story. Put yourself in my shoes. I was working on my laptop with a paper due at midnight. I was almost done and my laptop died. I had to run and find an outlet. I was nowhere near a free outlet. Miraculously, I got my paper turned in if you care, but the stress and the panic of having to find an outlet felt unnecessary. And so we began to wonder, who else is struggling with this problem?
To figure this out, we went and interviewed 55 people working in coffee shops, over 100 Wofford students and faculty members, and just under 50 people at an airport. The results showed that a significant number of people in all of these different settings struggled with keeping their laptops consistently charged. The results further show that people who work in alternate workspaces struggle with this problem. There are currently 57 million Americans working in alternate workspaces, and out of those, 23 million people work in public settings such as airports, coffee shops, and libraries.
So there are a few ways people keep their laptops charged in public settings. One being a power brick, which is compact, but it's another thing you have to remember to charge, bring, and it has its own mess of cords. Then we heard only from a few old laptop users, which was buy a second battery and replace it when the first one dies. This is outdated. In today's age of laptops, it's unavailable. And then lastly, the number one answer we heard was, of course, find an outlet. Yes, you have unlimited power, but it is inconvenient and can be unavailable when you need power on the spot. Looking at these current solutions, we think we can do better. Introducing the CS Sleeve. The idea is simple. We are taking the power and convenience of a portable charger, eliminating as many cords as possible, and putting it all in a computer sleeve for convenience and for protection. It is an all-in-one solution to portable power for your laptop. So here are a few drawings to help you conceptualize our product. On the left, you will see a simple drawing of the CS sleeve. It'll have batteries sewn into the sleeve with a charging cord neatly tucked in the back for charging both the laptop and external batteries simultaneously. On the right, you'll see a more detailed schematic of the circuitry. We have hired an electronics engineer to help us develop our prototype that'll be completed sometime in mid-May, and the functionality of our product is also patent pending.
Using the sleeve is simple. You just place your laptop on top of the sleeve, plug it in, and you're charging. To see if our product gauged online interest, we launched an Instagram ad for 24 hours and got 256 hits. The average cost per click on our ad was 16.5 cents. This is significant since at the time, the average cost per click on an Instagram ad was 70 cents. This illustrates, on average, more people interacted with our ad upon seeing it than an average Instagram ad, highlighting significant consumer interest.
So who are we? We aren't just some good-looking guys. I'm Calder, folks. I'm a senior here at Wofford. I'm a physics major and a math minor.
I'm Shadis Khan. I'm also a senior. I'm a math major and physics minor. We've assembled a team that includes the lovely Lynn Mullen, Associate Director of Entrepreneurship and Innovation, who has been guiding us since we were first interested in pursuing this venture, and an electronics engineer, Naveen Ventox, who specializes in prototype development, who will be consulting us through our prototyping and beta testing phases.
So now that you know our idea and who we are, let's talk about something more important. How are we going to make money? We will use a direct-to-consumer model where we will direct online traffic to our landing page and convert visitors to sales. To direct online traffic to our landing page, we will mainly launch online advertisements and pay social media influencers to showcase our product. So where are we? Let's recap. We saw a problem, we validated a problem, posed a solution, validated there was a market for our solution, and we are currently developing a prototype and our patent pending.
We're almost ready for product launch. Our next few steps are to conduct beta tests and to speak to manufacturers. We already have 20 people who signed up for beta testing, and we are also speaking to 2 different manufacturers within the US. To make these next steps happen, we are asking for $5,000 to help pay for legal fees and beta testing expenses. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate your consideration.
Thank you.
In 2018, residential and commercial buildings accounted for 40% of U.S. energy consumption. Hi, I'm J.J. Smith, a senior physics major here at Wofford College.
Hi, I'm Jack Dextrace, a senior computer science major and physics minor at Wofford College.
We are the founders of Lifecycle Energy Solutions. We conduct energy analysis and improvements for commercial properties. Our energy analysis determines where energy is being used, how we can reduce it, and what incentive programs we can provide.
A couple years ago, we were educated about the ongoing energy crisis in a class literally titled Energy. When we were presented with real-world problems, we began researching real-world solutions.
We founded this business to combat the energy crisis, fill a large market gap, and improve the sustainability of the upstate.
Today, there are numerous sustainability options in the residential sector, but not the commercial sector.
Through our research with another industry leader, Invinity, and local real estate, we have found the upstate to be lacking in a provider of holistic approaches to energy conservation.
So our job is to focus on small businesses, real estate agents, and property owners to tailor fit energy solutions for each property.
As of now, we have confirmed our first client in Spartanburg, and our goal moving forward is to continue fostering relationships by word of mouth to expedite our brand's recognition.
1/3 of commercial property operating costs goes to energy use.
Hubble Lighting reports that commercial buildings can see up to 70% savings in lighting cost just by switching to LEDs.
This means we could significantly reduce energy costs while increasing the property value, improving the life cycle of these spaces.
We have forged relationships with leaders in the solar, commercial real estate, and construction industries, which places us in a position to grow rapidly.
There are certainly others out there with energy conservation goals, but none in the upstate of South Carolina that provide our holistic approach to energy conservation.
Our streamlined service of navigating the incentive and rebate programs sets us apart from our competitors.
Our focus is not on just convincing customers to invest in solar panels per se, but to invest in energy solutions as a whole.
We're starting out as lean as possible, and the best way to do this is taking advantage of low-hanging fruit with a high return on investment, the lighting.
We also have histories with solar and energy efficient technologies. This ranges from academic projects through Wofford to a professional solar generator installation with Morgan Corporation. This prepares us for rapid growth after our lighting phase.
As we grow connections and experience, our plan is to take on more complicated systems such as HVAC and full solar panel arrays.
Currently, we are building our own team of quality subcontractors to implement the suggestions that result from our energy analysis.
Our strategy is to begin doing energy analysis focused on lighting while expanding our customer base, grow the complexity of projects, and become a one-stop shop for energy savings equipped with a team of engineers and technicians.
We will be conducting our first energy analysis in the coming weeks and have other clients lined up when normal business hours resume.
So what we'll need to make this happen, and this will be very important, as Jack just mentioned, we do have our first client that we plan to do our energy analysis for. So we'll need a working capital, and this is our estimated upfront project costs for a small office building.
Next, we have our general equipment, such as infrared cameras, light meters, all the things we need to conduct an energy analysis for a customer.
We've also averaged out monthly costs to provide an easy, accessible, and user-friendly website for Lifecycle.
Finally, we have basic office supplies, paper, printer, filing systems, all the things needed to get a small business running.
We are Lifecycle Energy Solutions.
Thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to hearing your questions soon.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Brown. I am a sophomore majoring in English and Spanish from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And today I will be talking to you all about my yoga apparel startup form, Off and Om. During the late 1980s, Richard Simmons released his first VCR tape, Sweatin' to the Oldies. Although it seemed like just dance routines to disco hits, Simmons was subliminally laying the foundation for the boutique fitness industry. The boutique fitness industry has greatly changed over the past 30 years, transitioning from Simmons' rhythmic aerobics and bright neon garb
to classes at high-end luxury fitness studios such as Orange Theory, SoulCycle, and Core Power Yoga. During this transition, boutique fitness simultaneously became one of the largest global industries. Its estimated revenue totals to an astounding $94 billion for 2019. Of that figure, 29% of revenue was generated solely by yoga studios, valuing them at a little over $27 billion. From these numbers, it is evident that yoga remains one of the most widely practiced spiritual disciplines in the world. Yoga has also become the center of a thriving apparel industry dedicated to providing function, comfort, and fashion, focused on enhancing the yoga experience. So much so that it is estimated that the yoga apparel industry will be valued at well over $47 billion by the year 2025. Overlooked by this market, however, is footwear. Although yoga is traditionally practiced barefoot, shoes are an essential aspect to the yogi's to and from studio routine. Shoes provide the yogi's foot with the support it requires following practice while maintaining a sense of style. We wanted to uphold yoga's principles of simplicity and naturality, as well as foster the fashion and functionality established by the yoga apparel industry. In doing so, we created a shoe that is both positive for the environment and your feet, a shoe that can take you from the studio, home, and everywhere in between. For several months, market testing was completed. We asked hundreds of yogis what their current go-to yoga shoe was, what they liked and didn't like about it, and most importantly, if they could have the perfect pair, what characteristics would it have? And here's what we found. 87% of yogis reported that they are not happy with their current yoga shoe solution, to which we asked why. They complained that there was no element of style, little support for aching feet post-practice, and difficult to take off and put back on. So we asked, well, what is the shoe that you wear to and from yoga? The answers were pretty unanimous: slides, Birkenstocks, flip-flops, and tennis shoes, and for design purposes, we knew to stray away from those. So, our solution. For a little over a month, we collaborated with a footwear designer based out of Canada, yielding a panel of ideation sketches and 3D renderings. This initial design was guided through information on desired characteristics that we gathered through market validation. While the 2 panels of sketches and renderings were a good starting place, it would be hard to argue this design's uniqueness for yoga against other cork platform shoes on the market. This is our new, updated design that we intend to prototype and receive feedback on from our target market. It is athletic enough that it provides quality support for your feet, yet chic enough to be worn downtown after class. Our business model is simple. Form profits solely from product sales from our online store and sales at select yoga boutiques. Given production and manufacturing costs, it is estimated that Form will have a 60% profit margin, profiting $60 off the average $100 sale. The whole idea for Form came to me while I was laying in bed one night after spending yet another one of my paychecks at Lululemon. I wondered to myself, if women are willing to spend hundreds of dollars on yoga attire, what is to deter them from buying a pair of shoes to match? And I haven't stopped thinking about this question since. Through November, I conducted market research and validation to see if this question was even valid. Once it was validated by an outpouring response and interest from yogis, I dedicated Wofford's entire interim period to Form and its development, where I completed a 6-week internship led by staff at a local marketing agency that guided me through the branding and preliminary design processes. During the spring, I had the opportunity to pitch my idea at Wofford's monthly entrepreneurship meetup, and I also submitted my idea to NC Idea Grant Fund. And while I didn't receive any funding, I got invaluable supportive feedback and contact information for potential connections in the footwear manufacturing industry. I'm requesting $5,000, $3,500 towards shoe production, $1,000 towards product design, and $500 towards the renewal of legal fees. I have the idea, the brand, and the connections. I just do not have the funding yet. Thank you all for listening. I can't wait to speak with you on Thursday.
Hello, my name is Grace Cromer, and my business is Grace Upon Grace, an adaptive clothing line focusing on newborns and infants with feeding tubes. I am a triplet, and my brothers and I were born 3 months premature. We spent 2 months in the neonatal intensive care unit, and we came home with tubes, oxygen tanks, and a team of nurses. So growing up, I realized how many needs there were for the special needs community. And in 2014, I started a 501c3 nonprofit called Pennies for Preemies to help families who have children with special needs. through this nonprofit, I've realized another need. And that is that every year, hundreds of thousands of children rely on a feeding tube to grow and live. Unfortunately, the adaptive clothing that is out there is very expensive or it's not widely available, and the standard onesies lack access to feeding tubes. Also, hospitals do not have adaptive onesies, and this has been verified by a physician at Prisma Health. In order to validate that this was a problem, I made surveys. I talked to families who have children with feeding tubes, and I joined Facebook support groups. And when asked, 33% said that the biggest problem facing their child was a feeding tube. There are 73.7 million children in the US, and there are 9.4 children that have special needs. There are around 500,000 adults and children that rely on a feeding tube to survive, and these children are initially cared for in neonatal intensive care units from anywhere between a few weeks to 6 months or more. There are 50 hospitals in the US that have neonatal intensive care units, and there are 7 hospitals that have NICUs in South Carolina. And I'll be focusing first on the one in Greenville. When asked, parents, caregivers, and NICU nurses said that the biggest clothing need was access to a G-tube. And customers solve this problem now through the small boutiques that are already out there. But as you can see, these adaptive clothing lines are expensive. So I wanted to be able to create a onesie that was more affordable. I plan to do this by direct sales to hospitals to get large volume orders, to be able to get that price down to $20 per onesie for these families. Being able to provide a onesie with an opening on the side for easy access to G-tube, and a business that is accessible and easy to find. I would be taking a standard onesie like the one on the left and changing it to an adaptable onesie like the one on the right. My customers are 2 local hospitals, which are Prisma Health and MedHealth, and my business model is dependent upon these partnerships with these hospitals to be able to buy in bulk and get that price down. Pennies for Preemies families, families of children with G-tubes in the community, and hospital NICUs. The team is made up of people that have continued to support me on this journey and continue to help me find new ways to help these children. And that is Prisma Health's NICU nurse, Prisma Health Director of Nursing at the Children's Hospital, Vice President of Pennies for Preemies, and a mom who has a child with a feeding tube. Problem validation was validated through customer discovery, and I did this through, I started this process with the assumption that this was a problem, but I validated it through talking to families who have children with special needs and feeding tubes and customer surveys. Market validation through both hospitals and families that want a onesie that is adaptable and more affordable. I have a professional designer and seamstress ready to go, and continued engagement with NICUs and families. Next is to test the prototype. My go-to-market strategy is to finalize and fulfill the Prisma Health order. I have been talking to them about getting numbers and prices and getting everything finalized for their order. Market the South Carolina NICUs and families, and build brand awareness through social media and partnerships. To do this, I'm asking for $4,000. This would help towards funds to test and trials for the prototype, business licensing fees, bulk order of onesies, the material to adapt the onesies with an opening for a feeding tube, and packaging. And our mission at Grace Upon Grace is to create clothing that is easier on these parents and children, that makes feeding and changing their child less difficult, and to really let these families know that we're here for them and we want to support them and their child. And you can contact us by the number and email on the slide. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Keisha Best, and I'm the founder of the Lunchbox. Now, for the past year, I've been exploring some of the social problems in my hometown related to food insecurity and education. I've always been passionate about these social issues. However, this passion developed into action when I had the opportunity to travel abroad and study innovation and social entrepreneurship. While abroad, I visited over 60 different social enterprises plagued by many of the same issues as my community today. My experiences abroad have helped inform my approach for today. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Craig, a Marlboro County High School student on the Health Science Career Readiness Cluster path. Now, Craig was an average student, but he excelled in his health science courses. And through his participation in this program, he was able to become a certified nursing assistant while still in high school. This experience gave him practical skills that opened up a world of opportunities for him after high school. While Craig was afforded options in the pathway into the medical field from his participation in the program, there remains a group of students with no distinct path to gaining that professional experience. Currently, the culinary arts program does not offer students any type of certifications or pathway to pursue industry credentials. When I talk to these students, they always express the need for more experience and exposure in order to be competitive in the applicant pool for jobs in colleges. In addition to these students needing this program, the wider community also needs it. Marbury County is plagued by food deserts, forcing residents to rely on cheap and unhealthy food that can lead to a lot of health issues such as diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. In 2015, Marbury County was South Carolina's least healthy county with an adult obesity rate of 39%. This chart shows some of the demographics for Marbury County and Bennettsville alone when compared to those values for South Carolina. So as we can see, the average household income and the per capita income of Marbury County is less than 2/3 than the value for South Carolina. Additionally, the poverty rate is more than twice that of South Carolina. Lastly, we can see that the median value of owner-occupied housing units is significantly less. This is relevant to us because the majority of funding for public schools comes from local property taxes. Low property values means less funding going into the school district. Marbury County has 12 career clusters, and the majority of these programs translate to some type of relevant certification for students. So we can see that our health science students can get a CNA license, cosmetology students can get a state license in cosmetology, and so on. However, the culinary arts program doesn't offer any certification because of the lack of resources. We intend to change that by having a food truck that serves as a mobile learning laboratory where culinary students can pursue a junior culinarian certification via the American Culinary Education Federation Foundation. Today, the culinary arts program is lecture intense rather than hands-on experimental learning. And that's because of the lack of resources again. Additionally, we can see that for the wider issue of food insecurity in Marbury County, the top map shows you that the majority of restaurants in Bennettsville are fast food restaurants that serve cheap and unhealthy food full of fat, salt, and sugar that contributes to the health issues we discussed earlier. On the bottom map, we can see that the majority of restaurants are really only located in the Bennettsville area, leaving the rest of the county surrounded by food deserts. As a mobile learning laboratory, the Lunchbox will be able to allow high school students to gain their culinary arts certification and practical hands-on experience with industry standard equipment. And additionally, we'll also be providing Marbury County and the surrounding areas with flavorsome, affordable, and healthy contemporary American cuisine. Revenue will come from food and beverage sales in different communities at community events such as wheat ball weekend tournaments, and travel to neighboring communities. Additionally, since Marbury County is a small community with few sources of entertainment, our football games are usually well attended, and our partnership with our local high school will allow us to serve food at those games. Our business will have a strong focus on its social media presence and marketing. This will be used to interact with customers and inform them on where the truck will be serving food each day. Additionally, as the only public high school in the county, our partnership with the high school will serve as a source of publicity, and we'll be able to leverage this partnership to create buzz for our food truck. So the team of people I've been working with so far has been a lot of great individuals from the school district, as well as some of my own friends who are helping in developing the menu and doing the graphics and social media stuff for the food truck. So far, we developed a draft menu, began re-envisioning the culinary arts program around the food truck. We began building relationships with community members and also getting students' inputs about participation in the program. Our next step are offering a tasting of the menu and to continue working with the school district while also expanding our relationships with our community partners. Additionally, we'll move forward to actually purchasing the food truck and obtaining the necessary permits. So today I'm asking for $2,500 to fund the market testing of our menu items and the actual rental of a food truck. Thank you for listening to my presentation today.
Hi, my name is Campbell Harmoning, and I'm the founder of Graduates Garage. I'm sure you are all familiar with eBay, Craigslist, OfferUp, LetGo, and Facebook Marketplace. These companies have had huge success while marketing goods and services online. However, none of these platforms focus on the college student, and Graduates Garage fills this void. There is no online marketplace geared towards college students. While in college, students are pressed for two things, time and money. It's hard to find sources of income that are flexible enough for a full-time student. Along with that, students collect lots and lots of goods during their time at school. These excess goods are expensive to store as well as expensive to transport, not to mention that many of these goods will not translate to life outside of school. So what are students doing about this? Students currently post informal listings in GroupMe's, post flyers in dorms and around campus, rely on the word of mouth, and throw away items of value. These items of value should be repurposed instead of being used to fill landfills. So with all these problems, what is the solution? Enter Graduates Garage, a uniquely suited platform for students to buy and sell among their peers and to market their services. Graduates Garage platform will provide a marketplace for goods where students can sell a variety of items, including furnishings, books, furniture, clothing, and unique to college items, such as our Miller Lite mini fridge picture. Graduates Garage's platform will also provide a marketplace for services. Here, students can advertise skills in tutoring, cleaning or laundry, moving services, grocery and meal pickup, or pet care, just to name a few. Being on campus makes students feel safe. Graduates Garage is secure because its users are vetted through college email verification. This will allow a comfort level that is simply unattainable in other markets. Now, efficiency is very important to us. Graduates Garage is efficient because it will be easy to use, our users will be in close proximity to one another, and there will be a built-in trust aspect between users. Now, I would like to take you into my business model. Graduates Garage will have 3 different revenue streams to work with. The first will be a for sale listing revenue stream. This is where Graduates Garage will take 5 to 10% commission on goods sold through our platform. The second revenue stream will be our service listing stream. This will be a one-time fee based on when a service is posted. And the third revenue stream will be commercial advertising, and this is to be determined based on local markets and rates. Now, just to give you an idea of how large this market really is, there's over 19.9 million students in the US currently and over 200 million students worldwide. That is a lot of students. To continue with some marketing and metrics, I'd like you to meet our team. Myself, Campbell Harmoning, and my technical co-founder, Dylan Small. Dylan will be handling the coding and the building of our platform. Now, for marketing, to push and grow our audience, we will be using Gen Z's natural tendencies and talents, as our main source of initial growth will occur through social media. We will first find student ambassadors on target college campuses. We will gain traction through those ambassadors with their existing footprint on those campuses, and we will utilize Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat to target our users and reach the most amount of students possible. We plan on launching in the winter of 2021, and I am asking for $5,000 to cover many of my startup costs. For my business, this will cover LLC formation, web space use, trademark and domain fees, ambassador bonuses and starting costs, social media advertising, and travel and lodging expenses when traveling to our first target school. Now, Graduates Garage will be the only destination for any college student with a good or a service. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Thank you for your time, and go Graduates Garage.
My name is Xander Dale, and this is Travel Pals. As I've gotten older and more independent, my desire to travel has grown since I'm not relying on my family to plan a trip for me to be able to go somewhere. At the beginning of this year, my friends and I planned a skiing trip to Colorado over one of our long weekends, and we had it all planned out. We knew where we wanted to stay, where we wanted to ski, and we were looking forward to it. But then as we got a little closer and we're getting ready to book things and everything, some people realized they didn't have enough money to go, and some people had timing conflicts. And ultimately, the trip ended up falling apart, and a lot of us were really disappointed because we were super excited about this trip. And this made me wonder if other people I knew had this same issue of they had a trip plan and wanted to go somewhere and just ended up not being able to go because of money or timing conflicts. And I asked around and I found out that a lot of my friends and people I knew on campus had the same issue. So I dug in and did a little more research to see who else was having this problem in the world today. And I did 300 interviews in my target market range of millennials and Gen Z, so the age range of 18 to 40. And of those 300 interviews, 70% said that they had this same issue of trips falling apart because they either couldn't find people to travel with or people had to back out because of money issues. The millennials make up 1.8 billion people in our total world population. 300 to 330 million of them are travelers, and they take about 2 long trips per year on average. They travel an average of 35 days of the year, and that makes up $350 billion of the $1.4 trillion travel market. 82% of millennials took a trip, whether domestically or abroad, last year, and 75% of Gen Zers took a trip domestically or abroad last year. Solving the problem today, people will either solo travel, cancel their trips, use platforms like Airbnb to assist with their travel, finding places to stay, or use a platform like Meetup, which is a message forum where someone will post they're going on like a hiking trip on one day and where and when, and people can just show up and go. I'm going to solve the problem by creating an app. When you download this app and log in, you'll sign in, create your account, and you'll fill out a survey or questionnaire about your lifestyle habits, what you want to do when you travel, whether you want to be immersed in the culture or you're just going to kind of get away, what kind of trip you want to go on, whether a concert or a ski trip, or maybe go on a wine tour or go abroad. After filling out this questionnaire, our algorithm will connect you with like-minded people and give you potential people you can travel with. From there, you can go and message them. And from our messaging app, once you've found who you want to travel with, you can go and you can plan your trip. Either you can plan it yourself or we'll plan it for you. And then from there, you can book your trip all through our app. Our revenue model is to register as a travel agency. So whenever anyone books a flight or hotel through us, this allows us to get a percentage back from the airline or hotel. We'll have a planning feature where you can either plan your trip or we'll plan it for you. And then sponsored trips, where if somebody's opening up a new hotel somewhere and they want it to be filled on the grand opening, we'll do a sponsored trip and say this hotel is opening, and that'll give us access to, give the hotel access to our clientele. With things going on today, the health officials are saying that the travel industry probably won't bounce back for the next 12 to 18 months. But when it does, they think it may be even stronger because people are going to be wanting to go out and see the world. And this will allow for time to develop this app and get it out to the market. Getting more customers, social media is going to be a really big driver. Instagram and Facebook, especially since Gen Z and millennials are our big target market. Using personal networks, networking events with hotels and resorts, and then a partnership with like a hotel or company that does a lot of big group trips abroad will allow us to have access to their clientele or our clientele access to them. Moving forward, I'm going to bring on a technical co-founder, register an LLC, work with a local group and hand plan a trip for them, just showing them what our app would do, except I'll be doing it myself, and then develop a beta version of the app. I'm asking for help with money for app development, to develop a questionnaire and license that so others can't just take our questionnaire and use it as their own. Leasing server space so we can keep our clientele and keep our app up and running, developing our algorithm, because that'll be a big driver, and then releasing the app to the market. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alex Ennis. I'm a freshman at Wofford College, where I also am on the soccer team. I'm coming to you guys from the outdoors today because the Wi-Fi is not really strong where I'm at, and I have much better reception out here. So I just want to apologize in advance for any background noise you guys hear. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the company that I'm starting called La Playa. La Playa is an activewear brand made out of sustainable materials found at the beach. Our story starts with 4 brothers who grew up on an island and all they wanted to do was play. They loved to surf, swim, and play soccer on the beach. They noticed that there was a lot of waste on the beaches and in the ocean, so they decided to do something about it. They decided to turn it into activewear clothes that they could wear to play in. So what problem are we solving? We believe that there's a need for clothes that's easily transitional from the gym to the beach to wherever else that it takes you, that are also made out of sustainable materials found at the beach. So who's our market? Our market is men that are 18 to 32 years old that are active and live in coastal areas. These numbers here show that people are looking for brands that are environmental friendly and want to buy and support brands that are sustainable. So what's the market size? The market size for activewear brands in coastal areas is about $5 billion. Who's our competition as an athlete? I'm very competitive as a person, and I feel like it's important to know who you're up against. These are 4 companies that we've identified that have products that are similar to ours. How we go about solving it differently is that we use materials found on the beach, such as plastic collected from the ocean, bamboo, seaweed, pineapple, and coconut. As well as using sustainable materials, we want to be ethical in how we go about making our clothes. We have found a manufacturer in the Dominican Republic that is different from a lot of factories typically seen in the fashion world, and that they pay their employees 2 times higher than the average and have other benefits such as healthcare. Here's our product. This is our shorts that we're going to be launching. They are made of coconut, bamboo, recycled plastic, and recycled cork. Upcoming products that we want to release at some point are shirts made out of seaweed, shoes and flip-flops made out of seaweed, and a coconut leather upper. How are we going to go on making money? We're going to focus on e-commerce sales and hopefully grow in retail later on. Behind any great brand is a team. Kadeem Fife is our head of design. Charlie and Matt Dennis are my 2 younger brothers who play a supportive role in the brand as of right now, but are definitely important to what we do. Thad Dennis is my younger brother who will be coming to Wofford next year to play soccer and is head of marketing and sales here at La Playa. So where are we now? We have a manufacturer, the fabrics and designs that we want. We're working on perfecting the prototype, and we're finishing the website and getting ready to launch it. Next step for us after that is to manufacture and sell the shorts. On the right is a picture of our website and where it's at, as well as our Instagram page and how we collect on average 800 profile views each week that are unique to us. That's kudos to Thaddeus and what he does. And that's without having a product for sale or much social influences. So what do we plan to do with the money we earned here today? It costs money to build prototypes, and we have our first one, and so the money we raise will be going towards that, as well as manufacturing the shorts once the prototype process is completed. This is my brand Playa. I hope you guys like what you have seen here today, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys and your comments. Thank you for your time.